Right, I've just made a New Year's resolution, George.
What's that?
Well, it's standing by something that you've decided to do.
What have you decided to do, Dad?
I'm not going to eat any more bread.
What did you have this morning for breakfast?
Yes, admittedly, I had some bread, but I didn't make the New Year's resolution until after I'd made that sandwich.
So, what are you going to have for lunch? I thought we were going to have cheese on toast.
Yes, we could have some cheese on toast.
That's bread, isn't it?
I don't know, I think toast is obviously bread, but it's been toasted, so I don't count that as bread as such.
But it's still bread.
Yes, but it's different, isn't it? I mean, it's not so fattening when you've had it in the toaster.
Is that right?
I think so, George, yeah. So I'm going to have a little bit of toast after lunch.
What other resolutions did you make, Dad?
Yes, the other resolution was I will only have a small glass of wine after 8 o'clock and not before.
Why not before?
Well, it's too early, George.
What happens when the clocks go backwards?
Well, I will adjust my a glass of wine of an evening interest and change the time of when I have it.
Oh, yeah, what a clever idea, Dad.
So have you made any New Year's resolutions, George?
Yeah, I'm going to have more bread.
Right. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm going to have so much more bread because I really like it.
Right. Good. Well, Happy New Year, George.
Happy New Year, Dad. Hi, Dad.
Morning, George.
Morning. For the rest of my life, Dad, I want you to talk to me like I'm a sheep, okay?
A sheep?
Yeah, so from here on, I'm going to be a sheep. So you and Mum just have to talk to me like I'm a sheep, alright?
Fine. Oh, very nice. Although that sounds more like a goat, George. But I'll take your for it.
Just before I become a sheep completely, Dad, what's for tea?
Interesting question. Well, I'm preparing beef bourguignon followed by a lovely slice of lemon cheesecake. That's what we're having for tea.
Do sheep like that?
Oh, well, I don't think so, George. I mean, if farmers had to give their sheep beef bourguignon and slices of cheesecake every morning and every afternoon, I think they'd be well out of pocket, George.
What do sheep eat?
They just eat grass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the garden, pick some grass, put it in a bowl, and you can have that whilst your mum and me tuck into our beef bourguignon.
I think I'd be a sheep from next week onwards, Dad.
Great idea, George. That's fine with me.
Oh, thanks for all my Christmas presents, Dad. They were great.
Which one was your favourite, George?
Oh, my favourite, yeah. My favourite one was the one in the blue paper. It was wrapped in the blue paper.
What was it, George?
Oh, I've been playing with it for ages. And the one in the green paper that Mum gave me, I really liked that.
What was that, George?
Oh, you know that game. I'm always playing that game. What is? And I like that present that was wrapped in the red paper that Granny gave me.
Oh, yes, that was, what was...
Yeah, that was, what's it called? That was a really nice present, that, Dad. That was really nice. Did you like your presents? What was your favourite present?
Well, my favourite present, I think, George, it was the present Mum gave me, which was a book on how to help develop your memory.
Oh, have you got a bad memory then, Dad?
Yes, I think so, yeah. I think I might have a look at it, actually, George.
Yeah, where is it?
Where is it? Well, I put it down somewhere. I think it's in the front room, George, somewhere.
I haven't seen it.
No, I can't remember where I put it, George.
I'm really looking forward, Dad, to seeing what I get for my birthday. Sit, stay, stay, sit, stay.
What on earth are you doing, George?
I'm practicing for when we get a dog.
We're not having a dog, George.
I think we are. I've spoken to Mum and she's interested.
Is she indeed? Right, I'm going to have a word with her.
Yeah, it's going to be a small dog. It won't be a big dog, Dad. Sit. No, not you, Dad. I think we'll just have a small dog. I'm going to call it Ronnie. Stay. No, not you, Dad.
Oh.
Lie down. Lie down. No, not you, Dad.
Ah.
If we can't have a dog then, Dad, can we have a parrot?
A parrot?
Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm George. I'm George. It'd be great to have a parrot. Oh, look at you. Look at you. You're my dad. You're my dad. Oh, please feed me. Please feed me.
Yeah, very funny, George. I'm afraid we're not having a pet. To be honest, George, I'd rather have a snake.
A snake?
As an alternative. But I definitely don't want a dog, and I don't want a parrot.
But you'd have a snake, Dad. A real snake.
Well, if I had to have anything.
Right, I'm going to tell Mum.
What?
We're having a snake. We're having a snake, Mum.
What? What are you doing, George?
We're having a snake. Oh, what? I'm just telling Mum.
George, come back.
Dad said we can have a snake. And I'm going to call it Ronnie, Mum. Ronnie, the snake.
Oh, I'm so hungry, George. I missed out on lunch, and Mum only made you some lunch. I don't know why she didn't make me lunch as well.
I think she was a bit cross with you, Dad. So when she went running out of the house, she just cooked me a meal just before she went.
I don't know why she gets so angry. I just wondered if I could have a bit of your fish finger there. Could I just have a slice of your... Could I have one of your fish fingers, in fact, George?
No, but you can have a little bit on that little bit there.
Thanks. And those peas, can I have some of those peas?
You can have 2 peas.
2 peas, George?
Yeah, if you get a plate.
Right. Right, here we go. 2 peas.
And then you can have a bit of that bread. If you take, can you just cut the crust off? Don't take the main bit of bread, just a bit of the crust. That's it, yeah.
Right, so I've got a bit of crust, tiny bit of fish finger and 2 peas. Well, thank you very much, George.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Dad. It's my pleasure. I don't want you to go hungry, Dad.
I can't promise that won't happen, George.
Oh.
Oh, there you are, George. What are you up to?
I'm just thinking, Dad.
Oh, good. Well, what are you thinking about?
I'm just thinking about lots of things, this and that, everything really.
That's good. That's really good. So that's your thinking face, is it, George?
I suppose it must be, Dad. What's your thinking face? What does it look like?
Ah, well, I think so much. I don't even know if I've... Ah, yes, I think this is probably it.
That's your thinking face, is it, Dad?
I think this is probably the face I make when I'm in deep thought, yes. Of course, I'm in deep thought a lot of the time.
Are you sure that's your thinking face, Dad?
More than sure, yes, George. Why do you ask?
Well, I've never ever seen that face, Dad. I've never seen you make that face.
Well, I'm sure you have. You've probably forgotten.
No, really, Dad, I don't think you probably think that much, because if you think you make that face and I've never seen it, then it probably means you don't think that much, Dad.
Well, I'm thinking all the time, George. I'm a deep thinker. Your old man is a deep thinker, I can tell you. I mean, I'm thinking a lot of the time, and this is the face I make, George.
I don't think so, Dad. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to ask your mother. Yes, I'm sure she'll say, oh yes, that's your thinking face.
I wonder if she will say that, Dad. Anyway, can you close the door on your way out? Because I am thinking.
Right. I'll see you later, George.
Yeah, see you later, Dad.
Oh, I love these old bookshops, George. I really love them. Just looking for titles, whatever, wherever. I just love just... Oh, smell this book, George. Smell this book.
I don't want to smell it.
Just... No, go on, smell it. It's... just a...
I really don't. Yeah, it smells like a book, Dad.
Those pages just right off the old print works. What a lovely smell. I don't believe it. I don't... Quick, get down, George.
What is it?
Get down. Don't move. Don't say anything.
What is it? Have you seen Mum?
Not Mum, no. It's Clint Eastwood. I've just seen Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, just by the till. You see that man in that really tall man in the green jacket? That is Clint. What on earth is he doing in this bookshop?
I don't know. Is that Clint? Who is Clint Eastwood?
George, Clint Eastwood is one of the most, if not the most famous actor in the world. I mean, everybody knows who Clint Eastwood is.
Do you want to talk to him?
No, of course I don't. Where are you going?
I'll ask if he wants to talk to you.
He doesn't want to. George, come. George.
Hello?
Hello, kid.
Is your name Flint Westwood?
No, it isn't. It's Clint Eastwood.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Well, you see that man hiding behind cookery over there?
Oh, yeah, I can see him, yeah.
He's my dad.
Oh, right, okay, kid, okay.
And, he'd really like to talk to you.
I'm afraid I'm in a little bit of a rush, kid. I'm sorry, but...
He's seen all your... What do you do exactly?
I'm an actor, kid, and I direct films, movies, you know?
He's seen all your movies. What movies have you been in? Were you in The Little Mermaid?
No, I wasn't in The Little Mermaid, no.
Star Wars?
No, not Star Wars, kid, no.
Aladdin?
I think Aladdin was a cartoon, as you probably realize I'm a real person, kid.
Will I know any of the films you've been in?
Oh, let's see now. I don't guess you've seen, I shouldn't think you'd be allowed to see Pale Rider, for instance. That's one of my favorites. Unforgiven is another.
Pale Rider? Were you the Pale Rider?
Yeah, I guess I was.
You're not that pale, though, are you?
Well, I've been in the sun recently.
And what were you riding? Were you riding a motorbike?
No, I was riding a horse.
And what was the other film you said?
Unforgiven.
No, I haven't seen that either. Are you sure you don't want to talk to my dad?
I'm really in a bit of a hurry, kid, and I'd appreciate it if you went. In fact, that would really make my day. I'm sorry, kid, I have no time to talk now.
All right. Well, thanks, Mr. Southwood.
Eastwood.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks very much. Dad.
George, get down. That was so embarrassing. What did he say to you?
I'm sorry, Dad. He doesn't want to talk to you. He's in a bit of a rush. Flint Southwood said...
Clint Eastwood, George.
Clint Eastwood said that he was in a bit of a rush and he couldn't see you or speak to you. Well, he saw you popping up and down, but he couldn't speak to you. Sorry, Dad.
No, that's fine. I don't believe it.
What is it? Have you seen Mum?
No, Mum, no, it's Sandy Toksvig. Good Lord, 2 superstars in one bookshop. This is incredible.
Who have you seen?
Sandy Toksvig. That's
Sandy Toothache. I don't...
Toksvig.
Toksvig? What does she do, Dad?
She's on the telly all the time. Good Lord, look. She's buying a book on architecture. She's looking at a book. That's incredible. It's phenomenal, isn't it? All these people that you see around. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I don't know who she is, Dad.
Well,
do you want to talk to her, Dad?
No. George, where are you going? George! Come back. George! Me and My Dad is an open fridge production produced by Alex Castle, written and featuring Thomas Kett. Oh, it's certainly very cold out there, George. You're going to need a jumper.
I don't think I will, Dad. I'm fine.
What about some wellies?
No, my plimsolls are all right, Dad, thanks.
And what about I mean, George, the wind is really blowing out there. You're going to need a hat or scarf at least.
And Dad, I'm much stronger than you think, actually.
Right, well, don't say I didn't ask you, and well, here we go then.
I'm really looking forward to getting out and having this walk, Dad.
Yep, so am I. So let me just open the door and... Oh!
It's quite chilly. Oh.
Shut the door and we'll just make our way to the park. If you can just hold my hands whilst we go towards the road.
It's really windy, isn't it, Dad?
It really is windy, George. It's very windy.
It's actually quite cold, isn't it?
Yeah, I did warn you, George. I did warn you.
I wish I'd worn my hat, because my head feels really cold, actually.
Well, you can wear my hat, I suppose. Go on, put it.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Oh, yeah, it's really... Can I have your scarf as well, Dad? It's really freezing.
Yes, go on then. You can have my scarf. Good Lord, it's not as though I didn't warn you, George, what the weather was like. I know it's blimmin' freezing out here. God dear.
Oh, I forgot to wear my coat.
You didn't forget, George. You said you didn't want it.
Can I wear your coat, Dad? Or can I? Well,
I'm going to be very cold, George, if I give you mine. Go on then. Go.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Put the scarf on it there. Oh, my feet are really cold in these plimsolls.
Well, you did insist on wearing just your plimsolls. I told you could have worn this. I've got these lovely furry boots on, George.
I can't. Can I just put this coat on?
It's quite chilly now, George.
Can you carry me, Dad? Because it's a bit muddy.
Carry you, George? Carry you? You're a big boy now.
Can't you? Just when we get to the park, I'll stop running around and think.
Oh, come on then. Good grief, you're so heavy now, George. God, it's freezing.
We'll get to the park soon.
Actually, George, I don't think I can get to the park. I'm going to... Oh, good Lord, it's... I think I'm going to get frostbite at this rate. I'm going back to the house, George.
No, I'm really nice and warm now, Dad. Can't we just go to the park and I'll play in the park for just half an hour and then...
No, George, it's freezing. I've got to get back.
Oh, Dad, it's not fair. It's not fair.
George, really, it's really... Good Lord, it's so cold.